It was a storm of rallies at Talensi on Sunday, and the small town in the Upper East region has become a hotbed of political activity as candidates gear up for the July 7 polls.
Well, everyone who is anyone in the political scene is at Talensi. The President, John Dramani Mahama, was at the rally for the ruling National Democratic Congress. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, leader of the biggest opposition party, took the podium at the rally for the New Patriotic Party. And Kwesi Indum, founder and leader of the Progressive People's Party, also addressed the crowd at his party's rally. Well, we're going to bring you a lot more details of that particular story as the day goes by, but we've got to move on to other issues now.
And the mayor of Accra, Dr. Alfred Okuvandapoy, stuck by his words and carried out the final phase of the demolition exercise and eviction at Old Fadama, also known to many as Sodom and Gomorrah, early Sunday.
The exercise follows a series of meetings between the AMA and the leadership of the Old Fadama on the strategy to remove Sodom and Gomorrah from the map of Accra. Joy News' Latif Idris was at the site and reports residents watched on helplessly as their structures were pulled down by the AMA task force.
The final phase of the demolition exercise, according to the mayor, will only affect areas around Adedengpo and those earmarked for the Kole Lagoon Ecological Restoration Project. These residents were therefore well aware of the demolition, but defied the orders and stayed. They watched on helplessly as their properties are bulldozed. Some could not hold back their tears.
See, mommy, where would you go from here?
Victoria.
All right, so Victoria is watching on helplessly as her structure is being pulled down, and now the big question she's asking is, where is she going from here? She has kids, her businesses, everything is being pulled down by the AMA.
The young men who have always called this place home say they have nowhere to go.
I feel bad because this morning they come here this morning, they told us that they will do only the quarter side, you understand? So they just start to destroy everywhere. So we don't understand what is happening. So some of when they want us to go and sleep.
So where would you go from here?
So I don't have any place to go because there's no money to.
If the mayor's words are anything to go by, this will be the last demolition exercise in the neighborhood of Old Fadama. But residents here say they are skeptical about the mayor's promise and are watching over their shoulders.
And as always, this is what we're going to do throughout the rest of the day. We're going to give you a lot more updates from that very area, Sodom and Gomorrah, or also known as Old Fadama, as to how, well, those who have been evicted are trying to pick up the pieces and move on, or otherwise.
You know, it's very sad when you, I mean, this is something that must be done.
It must be done.
But
I believe it must be done.
When you see a woman like Victoria, who's got 2 children, you know, she's just watching her structure being pulled down, and she's crying. She's wondering what's going to happen to those 2 kids who are in school. I don't know. It's sad, really. We need alternatives.
Yes. I guess we also need to have some kind of a resettlement plan, not necessarily finding a place for them to live, but also trying to find them means by which they can live, either give them good packages for them to go back to their homes. I know in this period of austerity and things like that will be a lot more difficult, but this also should be a lesson for the city authorities anywhere in Ghana. It could be in the Ashanti region, it could be in the Volta region or wherever, that if people are squatting at a place, you make sure that you evict them in time so that it doesn't become
before they make those places their home.
For you. Yes.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing it all around, from Tetekwashi to East Legon to things like that. So it's becoming a real difficult issue.
That's true.
Well, if you live in Binde, in the Bunkrugu-Yonyo district, then you're also probably very much skeptical about the fact that Ghana is classified as a lower middle income country, and we'll tell you why.
Well, health, education and infrastructure are all woefully lacking. Flooding is practically a way of life, together with a needless loss of lives and destruction of properties. Well, the people of Binde say they are done living in such appalling conditions. It is time government turns its eye north and pays attention to this farming community. Here's a report put together by Hashmin Mohammed.
Located on the Nalerigu-Nankpanduri highway with about 2,000 settlers, Binde is a farming community with a myriad of developmental challenges. The most recent death was last month when 2 women and a child drowned in torrential rains. Understandably, residents want this to stop. They say if drains are constructed, the flooding problem will be solved.
We need benevolent organizations to come in, and even with the support of the government, to let us have proper drainage in the community. One part of the community suffers when there is serious flood. And in fact, we normally sympathize with them, but cannot do anything on that aspect. So for that matter, we are seeking for the government, benevolent organizations, or other philanthropists to come out and assist Binde community in terms of this flood issue.
The residents are also worried about the lack of trained teachers. The Binde hospital has also been shut down for more than a decade. Therefore, residents travel all the way to Nalerigu in the East Mamprusi district to access health care. The community came together to clean the abandoned hospital and appealed that government takes it a step further by deploying staff and equipment to the hospital.
At present, the hospital will lack doctor. A medical doctor is not there. Medical assistant is not there. Even nurses, only one nurse who has passed through diploma. The rest has nurses. Midwife, we don't have. Just quite recently, they sent a midwife. So we have plenty challenges. The lab technician who was there was transferred to another place. So anytime I thought there's something like infusion, it means that they have to transfer you to Nalerigu Hospital. Meanwhile, all the equipments are there, and they are not used. So almost the equipments are pretty worn down. So we need a medical doctor who can come, or medical assistant who can come, see that all those things are put to use.
District Chief Executive for Bunkrugu-Yoyo, Sampua Timothy Larry, who joined the cleanup exercise, announced that a medical doctor has been transferred to the hospital by the Ghana Health Service in an effort to revamp the facility.
This hospital was serving a lot of communities, not only the district, but our neighboring country, Togo. People come from Togo, Burkina Faso, Garou, Busiegu, Charponi, and the rest to seek for health care here. But since the closure of the hospital, in fact, it affected a lot of people who have to travel from here to Nampanduri, from here to BMC, Baku, and other places before we can get treatment. We here have the news that we've been provided with a new doctor. In fact, it is a joy not only to Binde people, but the whole district as a whole. And I know the doctor is not coming to serve only Binde people, but serving the whole district and Ghana at large.
We have to focus on education this time, also in the Bonafri region, as pupils of Bokodie Primary School in the Winchi municipality of the region want government to build a 6-unit classroom block for them.
Well, they think it is time authorities give them at least the basics needed to make schooling appealing. Correspondent Nesta Kafuyachuma sent this report after interacting with some pupils.
Boku DA Primary School was established 10 years ago with 2 teachers and 10 pupils. It has grown to 300 pupils and 13 teachers. Even though government took over the school in 2007, the school still grapples with inadequate infrastructure. Vision Quarry Company provided this 6-unit classroom, which is currently used by the upper primary school. The Parent-Teacher Association also erected this makeshift structure for the preschool and upper primary. The school closes down whenever rain clouds gather. Pupils struggle to find learning perches in swampy classrooms, the inevitable result of a rainy day.
Due to the structure of the building, we have to close the school anytime it rains. On other days, the sun scorches us. This makes learning difficult. We want government to build new classrooms.
Another serious challenge confronting the school is sanitation. The structure made from palm branches serves as the urinal, whilst this pit with logs over it is being used as the toilet facility. The PTA chairman told Joy News they have made all attempts to get assistance from the Winchi Municipal Assembly, but they keep receiving empty promises. So this time, he addressed his concerns to central government.
We constructed the current structure ourselves. We have pursued the district assembly to help us, but they keep tossing us about. The teachers permit the children to go home when it rains. This is risky. We appeal to government to aid us.
Irrespective of these challenges, Boku DA Primary School celebrated its 10th anniversary with an energetic performance from the school's cultural troupe. Although executives of the municipality were invited, they sent delegations who could not give any concrete responses to the challenges facing the school. Ifia Jama Ampofuedu is the head mistress of the school.
Even in the dry season, where there is no rain, the sun always also moves to the classrooms. When the sun blows, the whirling wind moves a lot of particles to the class, which blows even papers away. Then the sanitary tool is woefully inadequate.
Well, this rainy season has certainly wreaked havoc in the southern parts of Ghana.
In the eastern region, people of the regional capital, Kofodia, are currently picking up the pieces after those torrential rains. The Zongo Chief's Palace in particular is being reconstructed after sustaining extensive damage in last month's floods in the capital. Contractors told Joy News they took up this job following letters of appeal from the community and its members. We bring a report by Haruna Yusuf Umponi.
Kofodia Zongo is a flood-prone area, and in this year's downpour, the Zongo Chief's Palace was heavily damaged. Antarctic Construction Company Limited decided to support the ravaged community by constructing this building that serves as the heart of Zongo Laka.
In his elders appeal to my boss, who is J.K. Ochre, Gaia's Antarctic, for supporting of their renovation of their building. So he came here and inspected it. So he realized that they need some 2x6 fascia boards and then nails. So this morning he sent me to send them 115 2x6 and then 17 fascia boards and then 7 packs of 4 inches nails for them to finish their building.
A representative of Kofodia Zongo Youth, Mohammed Mansouru, who spoke on behalf of the Zongo Chief, explained that the works will also include an expansion of the palace.
The cabinet decided to expand the structure as it wasn't able to accommodate more of people. For instance, when the presidency, people, kinds of dignitaries, when they come here, hardly can you see people. Many people cannot be in the building. And for that matter, there was a resolution to expand it.
Meanwhile, the management of Antarctic Construction Company Limited presented materials worth 7,000 Ghana cedis towards the completion of the construction.
The University of Cape Coast has launched twin funds for graduate research.
Well, the Samuel and Emilia Brew Butler UCC Grassack Fund will provide the financial support for research into health and sanitation problems facing the country. Chairman of the University's Council, Nana Sam Brew Butler, believes this will inspire students to undertake quality research.
Research is a cornerstone for social, technological, industrial, and all other forms of development. Yet, we have not adequately established relevant, effective research as a fount for development. The time has come for a paradigm shift in our approach and attitude to research work and findings. This supplementary fund is to inspire innovative graduate students of the University of Cape Coast to conduct research in health and environment.
The Education Minister, Professor Jane Nana Opukwu-Agyeman, who launched the fund, asked the country's schools of higher learning to set the right examples for the broader society using findings from research.
Research is important, but research is the one activity for which universities are established. That is all. Universities do not use established knowledge only. We leave that to other levels. Universities create knowledge. Okay, that is why it is not possible to teach the same class, the same thing every semester. It just shouldn't happen. And that is why graduate school is so important. It is from the pool of graduate students that we pick that we even replenish ourselves as universities. And therefore graduate school is beyond being important. But graduate school is where you also learn your research tools.
Well, the fund was named after the university's council chair, Nana Brew Butler, and his late wife, Emilia, who dedicated her life to environmental and health research.
Well, we had to turn our attention to what's happening and had trended from the last week till the close of the weekend as exhibitors and patrons of the 2015 Joy FM Beauty and Bridal Fair, well, they commended the radio station organizing a successful event and for putting together an event they could always remember. Well, so we'll bring you that full story.
You tell all the boys. From the invitation cards to walking down the aisle in an exquisite gown, having a colorful reception, and finally getting to your dream honeymoon destination, everything that you expect to make your wedding extraordinary was on display at the Joy FM Beauty and Bridal Fair. Since the fair opened on Thursday, June 2, thousands of patrons have trooped to the stands, overwhelming exhibitors.
There were so many people here yesterday. There's been a bigger crowd as compared to last year's, and there have been so many couples that are coming in to make enquiries and to sign up service providers and things. So I think it's been excellent.
We're actually giving 50% discount. That's how people are buying. People come and buy a lot at the fair, and then even after the fair, I have so many clients walking in as well to buy. And it's given me a lot of publicity.
We've enjoyed ourselves. Customers have been here in and out. I can think of giving about 2,000 pieces of our complimentary card, and people are still coming. People are buying. Yesterday we had to go in and bring some more stuff because the shop was getting empty.
It is an event that unmarried people do not want to miss.
I really like the wedding, so I really go there just to have a look at the mass weddings. And anytime I come here, I do a lot of patronage, so I really like it.
And for those who are already married, it is the time of the year to see to their beauty needs.
Actually, I want a place to fix my hair. That's why I'm around. Yeah, just to get and do a little trimmings here and there. Every year I come to the bridal fair with the kids.
The highlight of this year's event was arguably the fashion show that saw professional models strutting in some of the most amazing outfits created by Ghanaian designers.
You tell all the boys no.
This undoubtedly has been an event well organized to suit the needs of the 21st century bride.
Every little aspect of the whole 4-day event has been something to look forward to. Even from the variety of food outside of the food court, the variety of the exhibitions that we've had. But you can't forget about the fashion show. It was fantastic. And, watching the guys and girls walk up and down the catwalk was just a fantastic thing. The other thing was also the scope or the range of conversations that were had on the repackaged marriage talk. I think it was a great addition. I think next year we're definitely going to do something spectacularly different. The splendor you see this year, we will up the ante next year.
It's been an exciting 4 days for exhibitors and patrons. Several connections have been made, and so if you participated in this fair, then you know where to get what when planning your wedding. Remember, it's all about making your wedding an exceptional one, and the Joy FM Beauty and Bridal Fair seeks to do exactly that. From the Accra International Conference Center, Adelaide Arthur for Joy News.
Adelaide Arthur, and actually went there, she got convinced that she needed to get married.
Well, it was a beautiful experience. I spent a lot of time there on Saturday. Makes you want to get married again.
Wow.
Otherwise, like do an anniversary or something of the sort. Yeah.
Really? Just to get married because you went to a fair?
I mean, it was nice. I saw beautiful gowns, nice things. Listen, I'm a girl. Forget it.
Yeah.
You want to do it again when you see it.
I guess so. I guess a lot of stress, planning and putting it all together.
No, but when you meet the right people, such as, they assemble themselves at the Accra International Conference Center, it won't be stressful. Just give it to them.
I don't know how many men will want to go through. That's for the men. It's not about, it's the tortuous task of going through the whole process. It's not about you not willing to do the whole event. It's about it's about you. It's because you have to go and stand before a crowd, and it's not about what you say.
Okay, so that's the problem. That's your problem.
Yeah, because it's stressful.
What's hard about dress yourself and bring yourself to the venue?
Right. I guess
that's all.
I guess when it comes to that, will be the only thing that you have to do.
Okay, so if you missed this year's Joy FM Beauty and Bridal Fair, listen, it wasn't our fault, your own fault, but you have another opportunity next year. So if you're planning to get married sometime next year, wait for the bridal fair. You don't have to go to so many places to see what is available. Just chalk.
Well, this is what you have to do. You don't have to wait for the next segment because we're looking at what the stories are on the front and back pages of the newspapers, and as also they've been summarized on the news portal myjoyonline.com. In the meantime, though, please make sure you log on to our social network page on Facebook, Joy News on TV, and also a handle on Twitter. We have all those pictures there of us getting ready for the show, and our two good cameramen and technical people at the control room who are making sure that we bring you a beautiful show.
All right, stay with us. Up next, we're checking out what the newspapers are reporting this Monday morning.
We'll be right back.